After 12 plus years of living here in China, and on top of that, 4.5 years of living in Japan, I wanted to share a few things that I think the Western world could and should learn from China. Well, not just China, but from East Asia as a whole. In this list, we'll start light and get heavier as we move forward. Now, we're going to start really light, okay? Things get heavy pretty quick. But I do think this is more important than it might sound at first, okay? The first thing that I'd highly recommend that the West learns from China is to stop wearing shoes indoors in our homes. Our shoes get so dirty, and then we just come walking into our homes, tracking all of that filth inside. The solution is so simple. Do what they do in China and Japan. Take off your shoes and put on your house slippers. Problem solved. House slippers are super comfortable, and you will keep your living space much more hygienic in the process. In retrospect, after so many years of living in Asia, it kind of surprises me that we don't generally do this back home. I think we should. I know that one of these days, should I move back to the US, it will be a rule in my household. No question about it. The second thing on this list is, and we're about to get heavy pretty quick here, just like I told you, but we need to put patriotism on the list. I do need to clarify a couple of things. First of all, there is a difference between Chinese patriotism and patriotism in other countries with similar systems, and patriotism in free, open, democratic societies. To a great extent, patriotism in countries that rule with an iron fist, I guess we could say, is more of a requirement, and it's generally the result of indoctrination. I'm not going to dive too deep on this concept in this video, but I did need to make it clear that equating patriotism in China to patriotism in the US is not 100% a valid comparison. Patriotism in the US develops much more organically. That said, for the sake of this video, regardless of what leads to the patriotic sentiments in any country, the basic point I'm trying to make is that China is very patriotic and the US and other Western democracies are lacking in this area. We generally seem to have a split of about half of our populations who are patriotic and love our countries, and then the other half who seem to pick out all of the bad points and support policies that are to our nation's detriment. These are the ones who will so often compliment other countries, including China, and then trash their own, usually giving very naive and flawed reasons for their opinions. I've seen these kinds of people a million times, but listen to me, guys. I'm not saying that we need to have a kind of patriotism that's of the same degree and nature as what's currently taking place in China. To be honest, the degree of patriotism in China has surpassed a healthy degree and has now entered the realm of what I call hyper-nationalism. I don't want us to go there. And if you're in the US or in the UK, don't give me that tired old, well, with this leader, we have too. No, you haven't. You have no idea what you are talking about. But again, to get back to the basic point, sorry that I have to keep qualifying this, but some things require more clarification. The basic point is that a healthy society should have a healthy degree of patriotism in the vast majority of said nation's citizens. And in the US, we are seriously lacking in this. The type of patriotism I'm referring to here is something like this, okay? I love my country, despite all its faults, mistakes, and imperfections, and I want what's best for my country. When I see my nation's flag, I feel a sense of pride. And whether we agree or disagree, all of the citizens of my country are, to some degree, brothers and sisters, and we should care about and respect one another. It doesn't mean we can't debate. It doesn't mean we have to love every decision our government makes. Far from it. It just means we all have a healthy respect and appreciation for our country and our fellow neighbors. But we actually have places in our own countries where the authorities are telling us we can't display our own flags because they are offensive to some. This mindset has to go. This should never be accepted. And any officer of the law telling someone to remove their own flag should be fired immediately. We can debate and argue till we're blue in the face, but the basic foundation that we are all operating on is the foundation of a love of country and a desire to improve it. This will only help things in our countries. This will make things better for everyone.
Hey guys, 你对汉语感兴趣吗? Do you know what I just said there? I just asked you if you were interested in Chinese. Perhaps you were like one of so many who always said that they wanted to learn a foreign language. How many times have you heard or said that, but there was never any real follow-through? Well, there's no better time than today to get started. If you want to learn a foreign language, then I would highly suggest considering learning Chinese. There are Chinese speakers all over the globe, so your chances to put it to use will be readily available. I have partnered with the team at Excel Mandarin, and I encourage you to go check them out. They have a wide variety of courses, small class sizes, 24/7 support, and a comprehensive website full of resources that will help you in your Mandarin journey. Also, their teachers are native Chinese speakers, so you can be sure that you are learning authentic Chinese and will be able to speak with confidence. Contact them now and set up your free trial lesson. Completely free, no strings attached. You can contact them by phone or email, all links below. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot the most important part. Be sure to tell them that Mr. Chopsticks sent you. Okay, now back to the video.
The third thing that I think we ought to learn from China is to prioritize education. Education is a top priority in all East Asian countries. I was very impressed by the students I met in China and Japan. There's no way that our students could keep up with them and their work ethic, at least not now. It would take a lot of changes in priorities and thinking in order to get there, but we at least need to start heading in that direction. Education is like nourishment for a society and will help it to become healthier and stronger. The fourth thing that we need to do in the Western world is to limit immigration. Please, no knee-jerk reactions. You have to hear me out on what I'm saying. Now, China virtually has no immigration, okay? And I'm not saying we should do that. To the contrary, I think we should certainly have immigration and plenty of it. That said, it is the responsibility of our governments to know who is entering our countries. We don't want the troublemakers and deadbeats. We should want the best and the brightest. And sure, we should welcome those who are fleeing hardship and unwarranted persecution. But when those folks come and start insisting that we should follow their ways, or spit on our flag, or curse our nation's name, or commit crimes, we should be quick to deport them. They had the privilege to come, we welcomed them with open arms, and they slapped us for our efforts. Send them back. We have to note that there are so many people that come from, we could say, less fortunate parts of the world. They come to our countries, and a lot of times it is these very people that turn out to be some of our best and proudest citizens. I love these kind of stories. I've met so many people in the U.S. who came from other countries. They immigrated to the U.S., they became citizens, and they are proud Americans. These people are amazing, and I'm so grateful that we have them. Thank God. Also, it's extremely important that our governments monitor and control the flow of immigration so that we can make sure that they are able to integrate into our societies. There should be language programs set up that they are required to attend. It should be a type of process, a friendly, kind process that helps them adjust to life in a new country that they are planning to call home. So our governments should assist them in doing that. Them integrating is going to help them personally. It's going to be great for the nation as a whole. To allow thousands or millions of people to come into your country and not even make any effort or care one iota as to whether or not they're going to actually integrate into your society is not only irresponsible, but it's dangerous, and honestly, it should be criminal. When you look at what some countries in Europe are doing right now, bringing in millions of folks, bringing them in way too quickly, they are not assimilating. They are actually trying to get the locals to assimilate to their ways that they brought in from their home countries and cultures. This results in clashes and conflicts and creates massive segments of society that are largely incompatible with each other. Some of the things that I'm seeing take place in Europe are truly both alarming and infuriating. If they practiced the things that I mentioned in these past couple of minutes, they would not be having these problems. Even Japan, surprisingly enough, is sort of dropping the ball in their immigration policies. They want more immigrants, but they are not being nearly selective enough with who they are letting in. Hey, quick interruption. I wanted to tell you all really quick about the perks of becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter. For $1 a month, you get access to my Tales from the Road True Travel Stories series. These are real stories from my life, well written, and with classics such as arm wrestling the Chinese mafia, getting a black eye for Christmas in China, Toothless Gary, my Chinese friend, and Mr. Poopy Pants in Japan. How could one pass up this incredible offer? If you join the $3 tier or higher, you'll not only get access to this series, but you'll also get access to my China Newsflash series, where I talk about news stories and political issues that I'm not allowed to discuss here on my main channel. You'll have access to the entire back catalog. If you're interested in China, this is a series you're not gonna want to miss. Thanks in advance, and now, back to the video. Finally, the fifth and final thing I want to mention in this video that we ought to learn from China is, and I know this is going to be controversial, but we should ban all drugs and have a strictly enforced zero tolerance policy. I know some of you are out there, oh, but my Mary Jane is medicinal, bro. Sorry, bud. Let the doctors and scientists come up with a way to extract those medicinal properties and do away with the other elements of it. And for anyone involved with any kind of illegal substance, there must be harsh crackdowns. For the dealers, put them in jail for life. For users, open up treatment centers and require them to go. Make sure their progress is carefully monitored. If they choose not to cooperate, well, then how about spending some time in jail to reevaluate things? I mean, you could choose treatment, you could choose to reintegrate to society, improve your life, improve your health, or you could choose the other way. We don't need this kind of poison. We need positive things. We need education, exercise, clarity of mind. Countries of East Asia don't want it. They don't allow it. The status quo is if you want to drink, you can drink. I'm aware of the dangers of alcohol, trust me. But I do think alcohol should be legal, but outside of that, ban it all. We don't need that kind of garbage. China, Japan, South Korea, none of them want people walking around, toking up, or using any other kind of mind-altering illicit substance. I wish we could adopt this mentality in the West, but I know that we won't. I think that taking a page out of China or even East Asia's playbook on these 5 points would benefit us. They would make us happier, healthier, and more successful. They would also create a better future. Yeah, that same future that we are preparing to send our children into. So, what did you all think about my list here? Agree? Disagree? Either way is fine. Let's just please try to keep it respectful. With all of this said, I do plan to make a follow-up video talking about the 5 things that China could learn from the US. It's a two-way street after all. Trust me, there's plenty of things that China needs to improve on as well. So, thanks to you all for tuning into this video. If you'd like to support the channel further, there are some ways to do that. You can drop a super thanks. You can check me out on Patreon. You could become a channel member. You could buy me a cup of coffee. Anything is appreciated, guys. Of course, only if you have the means to do it. If things are tight, look out for number 1 first. I totally get it. But I do have a lot of big adventures planned in the coming months, and the vast majority of my travel expenses come out of pocket. It's expensive, guys. I would like to get where this channel can support itself, and trust me, if I can get to that point, I can take things to the next level. So I do need your support, but just having you here watching, giving the video a thumbs up, dropping a comment, that is also a great form of support. So whether you contribute financially or contribute in another way, I appreciate you all so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. So take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you next time. 下次再见. I want to give an extra special thanks to all of my YouTube members and Patreon supporters for their help in keeping this channel financially sustainable. A huge thank you to all supporters from the $1 tier on up through the higher tiers. I want to give an extra special acknowledgement to my PCO tier members. And lastly, a huge shout out to my top tier supporters. Lee, Martin S., David is Dawei,
and 有爱心的外国人. Oh, and just so you know, you guys rock.
What do you look for beyond the sea, grasshopper?